Boo. Forgot to do my boo today. Nettie is still traveling. She had a full day of travel today, so she's going to kind of relax this evening, but she's over in our chat already. You can see her over there. And then today's story is brought to us by Linda Barker. She commented on one of our videos and let us know about this story. So thanks to Linda Barker, we have this story that I actually didn't do the research for. Nettie did. So I'm going to be learning the story as we go through it. So I'll be learning with you guys again this week. I apologize. I did not get a video out this week. I have been a little under the weather. It's allergy season. So unfortunately, allergies are kicking my butt this week. Let me scoot in a little. I feel a little far away from you guys. Hey, Backroads RVing and Tommy Travels. All right, let me get over here and welcome everyone into the chat. Larice came in bright and early. We have MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless. Linda Barker's in the chat. We have Tommy Travels, Backroads RVing, John Chalker. Hello, hello. How's everybody's weekend? Let me know while we're kind of waiting on everybody to come in how your weekend has been. Hopefully the sound and everything is good. I moved my desk around a little bit too. I now have a much bigger second monitor so I can see your comments a little easier now too. So, all right. I think we're going to pop the story up and get on into it. So let's see what we got going on. A newborn was left to die 26 years ago. A mother's arrest has led to baffling new questions. All right. You know what? Hold on one second. Something's driving me nuts on this screen that I popped up here once. I need to undo it. There we go. Okay. Back to the story. A story of... Okay, I am not going to pronounce this correctly throughout this whole story. I should have... You know what? Dun, dun, dun. Let me Google how to say this so that I try to pronounce it correctly. Geauga. Pronounce it for me, phone. Or someone spell it out real slow for me so I can figure out how to pronounce it. Is it Gage? Am I anywhere close to Gate? Is it Gage? Or is it Gauges? Should have done a little more research on this name. At least I should have done the research on the name, because I feel like I'm going to pronounce it wrong the entire time and not do it justice. Geauga. Probably still doing that wrong. Pronounce. Let's see.
Project through working partners, and
it's not telling me.
The resource. I am
Soft G.
resource here in Lake and Geauga County.
Why is pronunciation so hard for my silly self? All right. We can all see the name. Child begins on March 25th, 1993. That morning, 21-year-old Cheryl Jenkins was bouncing down an empty country road in a pickup truck with a friend. Let me welcome everyone in that came in so far. Roy and Becky's Travels, hello and welcome. Larice, hello and welcome back. Geauga. I'm going to try to say my best. It's a weird word. It is a weird word. It is a little bit weird. And then we have Shanna Crafton here. Hello and welcome. Okay. Here we go. So Cheryl Jenkins was going down the country road. They were driving their route delivering newspapers. Watching the edge of the road where melting snow brushed against the woods, Jenkins noticed something that made her stop the car and swing back around. This is Cheryl Jenkins today, and that's Cheryl Jenkins back in the day. It was a dead baby, stuffed inside a garbage bag. The infant's arm and leg were gone, likely the result of animals. A piece of the umbilical cord was still connected to the newborn. It was a horrific scene. Dewey, the first deputy on the scene. Aww. Tommy, you're really trying to help me here with the Geauga. Y'all are gonna, I can't. I apologize to everyone because I know this is a baby and I know this is like a sensitive story, but y'all know me. I cannot say words right. So I'm going to do my best, but I ain't good with words. Timmy Ray the King. Hello and welcome. Oh, at the end of this, we do have a raid to do today also. It's somebody's birthday, and we're going to raid them if you all don't mind helping me with that. All right. Authorities later determined the child was between 1 and 5 days old. They could not discern whether he was dead when he was abandoned or died in the cold. Oh. Hey, Thrifty Angela. I just shared this live on YouTube. Thank you so much, Timmy Ray. And Fordman, aka Kenneth Oakes, I seen you popped in too. I don't think I said hello, but thank you so much for sharing it out. I saw you did that as well. So thank you. You're doing okay. You're doing fine. Deep breath. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. All right. I just hope they find out who did it, Jenkins told WOIO. That's a neat name. In 1993. I hope they're punished because there are a lot of people out there who want babies. They could have gave it up for adoption. That's true. Man hours, tips, and legwork could not lead investigators to answers. Who would leave a child in such a state? According to the News Herald, 34 individuals were investigated. 24 subpoenas were issued. Nothing. Oh, man. Jeez. Back then, was there not DNA? Maybe we're going to get to that in the story. Okay. Wondering if the publicity swirling around Geauga's child. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I'm laughing at myself and my stupidity. I apologize. Wondering if the publicity swirling around Geauga's child would kick loose remorse in the parents. Investigators hid a camera at the child's grave, hoping to catch parents returning to secretly pay their respects. The cemetery sits off a lonely two-lane road, tucked between cornfields and the occasional house screened from passing traffic by thick clumps of trees. The neat rows of tombstones rest in rural Thompson Township, Ohio, 42 miles northeast of Cleveland. Don't mind me, BB3. I don't mind being your cheerleader. Zip boom bah rah rah. I love you, my sister. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. One marker stands out among the unusual. This story is giving me a challenge. Also, my brain's kind of loopy today. One marker stands among the unusual something mesmerizing, memorializing. Jeez. Okay. Starting over. One marker stands out among the unusual I'm doing terrible today and I apologize. One marker stands out among the unusual, memorializing long gone loved ones. A single year is chiseled into the stone, 1993, under an odd name. Geauga's child. Oh boy. D'Angelo said, I get tongue-tied all the time. Oh man. Tommy said, if you pronounce the last ga like garage, you'll have it. Okay. Geauga. I can't do it. I cannot pronounce this word. That is not right. I know that's not right. What just came out of my mouth is not right. It cannot be right. This is too sensitive of a story for me to be laughing at myself like this, but I can't help it. Papa Drew said, I am not a ghost. I am wearing clothing and I am a hippie on a bus. Schooly life. Hey, Papa Drew. All right. We're just going to move on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to move on. Tommy said, laugh out loud. I can't. This word has got me. Okay. One side of the grave marker reaches for poetry. G. Child lies here now in safety. Just too late, it reads. Too late to save his life. Too late to make things right. But not too late to teach us all to love and cherish life. The stone's other side lays out the facts. Hey, Chrissy Mama. Hello, hello. Timmy Ray said, you need somebody up there with you to help with this live stream. I'm struggling today, am I not, Timmy Ray? It's a struggle. I have dyslexia, honey. Take it easy. Take a breath. Slow down. You're doing wonderful. Thank you. And I'm sure that is a struggle. I know a couple of people that deal with that, and I know that can be hard. Hey, Lucky Dog Productions moderator Sue. Hello and welcome. It's so good to see you. I am back in black. I'm not going to take you on a dinosaur adventure. Oh, please don't. I will fail miserably. I need to grab another tissue. Sorry, everyone. All right. Let's keep moving. So this is the gravestone. This happened in 1993. I would think they would have had DNA back then. How on March 25th, 1993, a newborn boy was found dead in a trash bag on a nearby muddy country road. How the child, who the coroner determined was alive at birth, tore so deeply at the community that volunteers donated money for the burial and the tombstone. Oh man. So at first they were saying they weren't sure if he was alive at birth, and now they're saying he was. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry. That's awful. This one's going to tear at my heartstrings. How the community named the boy after the county where he was discovered. An effort to wrench the discarded baby away from the anonymous words are hard right now. Anonymous, that word, y'all see it on the screen, of his death, and adopt him as their own. I don't know why I'm struggling as hard as I am today, guys, other than allergies have kicked my butt the last couple of days. So my brain is like half there. What is DNA you speak of? Is that like stuff in a hotel room? That is awful. I can't imagine doing that to my baby, right? Thanks, John Chalker. I am struggling today. I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one. Despite hundreds of tips and decades of investigation, police failed to not only identify the child, but understand who had left him behind. The community, however, did not forget. Residents reportedly still leave gifts and flowers on the child's grave. Oh, really, Tommy? You know more than I do. OJ was one of the first cases to use DNA evidence, and that was in 1998. Wow, okay. That's interesting. Okay, so I thought it was in the 90s, but I thought it was the early 90s. It was the late 90s, huh? Okay. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Tommy. Did I read that? Despite hundreds of tips and decades of investigations, police failed to not only identify the child, but understand who had left him behind. The community, however, did not forget. Residents reportedly still leave gifts and flowers on the child's grave. That included Thomas Dewey, a now retired county sheriff's detective, who was the first law enforcement officer on the scene when the boy was discovered. I periodically would stop down at the gravesite and tell the kid, "I'm sorry this happened to you, and I'm trying to do what I can to find your mother, to find out why it happened to you." Oh. Dewey recently told the Maple Leaf, "I kind of felt like it was going to be a lost cause." 26 years after the child was discovered, police have answers, or at least some answers. The real break in the case came in 2018, when headlines across the nation began blaring news about how forensic genealogy was being used to crack long, cold cases, including the Golden Gate Killer. Hey, Chrissy Mama. If y'all don't have Chrissy Mama or Larisse Jusset, I think that's how I pronounce it, please grab them up. They are absolutely amazing and so very supportive. So if you don't have them, if you can grab them up, that would be great. This is horrible, horrible, horrible crime. It really is. You know, there is a new thing going on with DNA. I'll talk about at the end of this case. That was just in the news here. Despite years of interest and investigation, the case remained unsolved until 2019. That's when investigators identified familia. I know I'm not saying that right. Familia, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, DNA, and created a family tree of some 1,400 people. Oh, thank you, Chrissy Mama. Thank you so much. Long cold cases are long and very cold. Just saying something from Stuff to Say. This seems like a FBI case right here. At a news conference on Thursday, County Sheriff Scott Hildenbrand announced the child's mother had been identified using genealogical research. Prosecutors say Ritchey confessed to leaving the baby behind, and DNA samples confirmed the relationship. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having a real hard time with this one. I don't know how a mom can do this. I just don't know. How do you carry the baby in it's a part of you for 9 months? Struggling. Okay. It confirms that she is the mother of the child. The community has come to know G child, said the prosecutor, and it confirms that her now husband, Mark Ritchey, was the father of the infant. Did he know? Did he know? Here's her. Okay, everybody remember the baby was alive. Because when I first see her picture, I'm like, oh, poor lady. I don't know why that popped in my head. I always feel sorry for people. Something's wrong with me. But instantly, I kind of felt a little bad for her. But then I remembered the baby was alive when she left it out there in the cold. Did the dad know, though? Was he a part of this? He would have had to know she was pregnant, right? It also confirms that both her DNA and the DNA of G child matched the fluid and blood found in the garbage bag. The state say the baby was born alive and murdered. The state say the baby was born alive and murdered, drawing attention to forensic evidence and autopsy of the baby's lungs. He was an otherwise healthy baby boy, said prosecutors. What? These lungs breathed, testified Dr. Joseph Philo. Philo did not perform the autopsy then, but as Geauga County Chief Deputy Medical Examiner has reviewed the case. I don't know how many breaths were taken, but there is indication that it breathed on its own. Oh, man. Hey, Boyette Gamers. Hello and welcome. And Larice Jusay, hello. And anybody that hasn't picked her up, go ahead and check her out, please. Dinner time was fun. Okay. I got a question for you, and my question is, are you coming to the slow-mo meetup? I'm not going to be able to make it this year. I wish I was, but I'm not going to be able to make it. All right. Okay. Philo did not perform. Okay, we read all this. The baby did breathe. Okay. That's why it's a live birth, that given the opportunity may have lived a full life. Investigators say the autopsy couldn't determine how long the child had been left. or how exactly he died. And the cause was undetermined, but findings indicated by violent means. Wait a minute. So originally the story starts out and you think the baby was just left out in the cold, possibly died before even being left in the cold. Then you think, okay, the baby was alive when it was left in the cold. And now you're finding out that the baby was violently killed. Oh, this lady, can we do electric chair for this lady? Is that a possibility? Ritchey, that's how I'm pronouncing it, later married the newborn's father. They have 3 adult children. Can you imagine what her adult children are thinking? First of all, they're probably thinking, thank God I lived. Like, also the deep grief they must feel for the sibling that their mother murdered and the loss of their mother, because they've got anger with their the trauma for this family. Anybody else thinking about this like this? This story is getting me. I'm sorry. They don't normally get me. This one's getting me. Okay. Ritchey later married the newborn's father. They have 3 adult children. She told investigators at the time of her arrest that she had disposed of another infant's body 2 years prior to the birth of her son, authorities said at the time. So this wasn't her first time doing this. What the crap? Oh, this is her happily pregnant. Okay, the husband had to know. He had to know she was pregnant the first time. You're telling me that this woman had a breathing live child and the husband didn't know she was pregnant? Like, it didn't say that in the story, but like the husband had to know she was pregnant with the other 2 children she got rid of. There's no way he didn't know. Look how big she is. Some people don't show when they're pregnant. She shows. Any murder factors that engulf a child moved everybody to anger. I know how it is because I'm getting angry just sitting here. I know. I'm with you, John. I'm with you. I'll talk about something else at the end of this that I recently got to thinking about. I don't even know what to make of this. Right, Thrifty Angela? The Linda Barker, anyone that's didn't come in at the beginning of this is actually a story that was recommended by Linda Barker, and I can't thank you enough for drawing attention to this story. I appreciate it. Even though this story angers me, I think it's important that we cover things like this so that we know things like this actually are occurring and that people like this exist and walk among us in our world. They're hard stories to cover, but I think they're important to cover them. But Linda Barker is the one that kind of introduced us to this story. Nettie's the one that did the research on it. So I'm just now learning this as we go through it as well. Roy and Becky said they need to leave her out in the elements to die a slow death. Well, Roy and Becky, that's the thing. It's saying that the child didn't die a slow death out in the elements. It died I guess it could have died from the elements, but it also suffered from violence. So maybe she needs both. Maybe she's just retaining water. Maybe. Yes, Linda Barker, that's correct. I do know that the trial's currently ongoing. So we'll see what kind of justice we're going to get for this story here. It's making me angry. Yep, both. Right? All right. And I agree. Those were good emojis there, Shanna Craft. This is unreal. 2 babies she did this to. 2. The woman, 49-year-old Gail Eastwood Ritchey, is a married mother of 3 from Cleveland suburbs. She's been charged with aggravated murder and murder. Hildenbrand told reporters the suspect has admitted to abandoning the child. Her reaction was that she had not even thought about this until we brought it up, Hildenbrand said. She had completely put it out of her mind. She always referred to the baby as it. She really had no emotions as far as that's concerned. If I say what's on my mind right now, it ain't gonna be good. So we'll keep quiet. The most shocking new detail, according to authorities, is that Eastwood Ritchey allegedly confessed that G-Child was not the first baby she had secretly abandoned. Investigators say she has not taken ownership of the baby, so he will remain buried in Thompson Cemetery in G-Child. Okay, hold on. I got something to say about this right here, just this. Okay. First of all, investigators say she's not taken ownership of the baby. Why would they even give her the option to take ownership of the baby? She does not deserve the right to take ownership of the baby. I don't care if DNA links her to the baby and DNA-wise, she's the baby's mother. She lost all rights to that baby the day that she hurt that baby and the day that she left that baby on the side of the road. She lost all rights. And all the people in this little town in Ohio who donated and went and visited that baby's grave, all of them have rights to that baby and that child, and all of them get to keep that baby. She should never have been given an option to take ownership of the baby. I'm glad that she didn't take it, but even the simple fact that she would be given the option to take ownership, I'm sorry. What? Sorry. A little rant. That kind of stuff makes me mad. That makes me so mad that that's even an option, that we have to give them a right to that. It blows me away. I'm not looking at my boys right now. I'm looking at my boys right now, and there's no way I could possibly ever think of doing something like that. Okay, question. And this is, I don't have my kids in front of me to look at them. There's no way you could possibly ever do that. I know there's no way you could possibly ever do that, Thrifty Angela. But even if you could, even if never could, not saying you could, but if there was a chance that something like that was to happen and you went on to have 3 other children and those 3 other children were your boys, could you go on and have 3 other children and enjoy those 3 other children knowing what you had done? Would you be able to enjoy life moving forward? I can't understand how that's even a possibility for a human being to do. Larisse says, hello, Roy. Thrifty Angela said she does not deserve the right. Thrifty Angela said, agreed. Roy and Becky said, lost her rights or say on anything with that baby. Exactly. Right? I love that we live in the United States. I do. Don't get me wrong. But I believe that our justice system needs an overhaul. I think there are some things that we need to go back in and vote on and change and redo a couple of things, because yes, I believe we should be free, and yes, I believe we should have some rights and you know, all of that, but I definitely believe we need some stricter laws in certain areas. No, I would always think of those other children, right? The guilt would kill me. The guilt would kill me, and then I would have to There's no way I could live with myself. No way. No way. All right. Sorry. I went on a rant. We're going to continue on. I'm also very sorry that I have to keep wiping my nose. I know that's gross. I apologize. Does she not look like any average mom that you would run into at your kid's school? Does she not? Like, she looks like just your average next door neighbor. It's crazy to me. That's why I think these stories are important to cover, because this is people that are just like you and they're not. Let me rephrase. I almost said they're just like you and me. They're not like you and me. They look and appear and fit into society like you and me, which is frightening. I've already gone through, it's funny you say that, Thrifty Angela. In the past weekend, I've gone through 2 tissue boxes. It's insane. And I have always been the type of person that doesn't have allergies. Like, I just don't usually suffer from them. I'm now taking a daily allergy medicine and feel like my eyeballs are on fire. I don't know. This season's kicking my butt. All right. She doesn't look like a murderer. She looks like the average mom at your kid's school that would like taking your kids and grandchildren to school, right? She looks like someone that you would entrust to, hey, Mildred, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for sharing it out. I appreciate that. I think that's what you said, that you shared. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, she looks like someone you would entrust to carpool your kids. Or maybe she would be like the room parent at the school. I mean, she looks trustworthy. She looks trustworthy, which is absolutely terrifying. Which is why we have to change our mindset on we just can't trust anybody anymore. We really can't. And that's sad. It's sad that that's the way that our world has shifted. If my math is right, she was 23 years old when she killed that baby. So it's not like she was a scared teenager. 23. And that was the second one. So no, she was no scared teenager. Linda, you're right. You're right. All right. Richie's elucid. Okay, I can't say this other word. Richie's neighbors described her as a church. Why has Ohio got these names? Okay, sorry, another tangent, but Ohio has the hardest city names to say. I'm sorry, they do. Ohio's got some names that are just challenging. Okay. So her neighbors described her as a church-going woman who was active in the Boy Scouts and the PTA. This is exactly what I was saying. She's your typical everyday person, everyday mom. Jeez Louise. Can you imagine the parents that were letting her take their kids to school, or the parents where her kids grew up with their kids and they were over at her house hanging out all the time? Can you imagine what they're thinking now? Oh, Roy and Becky just said the same thing. Imagine the other parents that let their kids around their kids because of the kids. Yes, right? This is the type of story that makes me wonder why partial birth are legal. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty yeah. There are certain people that believe women's body, women's choice, but I can't get into it. But Tavi, I'll go there. I'll go that far. Goes to show you never really know someone crazy, right? Well, we had my Boy Scout troop. when I was in Boy Scouts, there was someone accused of stealing all the money from our Boy Scout troop. There's been a lot of crazy stuff in our school district happen. It's been pretty insane. So yeah, trusting people is crazy. Okay, Eastwood Ritchey, who was employed as a receptionist at Norrin London School. See, I said she could be like a volunteer at the school. She actually worked at the school of dance, a school nonetheless with children in Mayfield, told the school's funder, Noreen Rode, and her daughter, director Colleen Rode, that she was in trouble 2 weeks prior to being taken into custody. You gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. Chrissy Mama is shouting out Nomadic Hippie. Nomadic Hippie is a doll. I absolutely love him. My bestie, Nomadic Hippie. All right. According to Colleen Rode, Eastwood Ritchey did not go into details. Her and her husband just met with my mom just to give us a heads up something might be happening. So did her husband know? Or did she just tell him prior to? He had to know, right? They didn't go into any details at all. She was here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week working. Everything was fine. Everything was fine, huh? Colleen Rode told WKYC that she's known Eastwood Ritchey for approximately 18 years and described her as a nice Christian woman and is shocked that her friend and employee was arrested for murder. It's something I would have never, ever have dreamed of her doing 25 years ago, she said. I hope that her friends and her family don't look at this situation and go, well, it was 25 years ago, and she's made up for it by being a good Christian woman for the last 25 years. Because that's BS. That's a bunch of crap if anybody says that about this woman. Because for 25 years, she just simply didn't acknowledge the 2 children that she murdered. That's crap. Friends and neighbors were shocked upon hearing of Eastwood Ritchey's arrest, only knowing her as a happily married woman with 3 grown children. Is Hippie in here and I'm just not seeing his name come up? What is going on? Did Hippie say hello in the chat, guys? Oh my God. What did we let our kids go to school into Boy Scouts with? Holy Lord. We let our crazy neighbor who is murdered take our kids to places, right? I bet that's what a lot of these people are saying. Great job on power washing Steph's RV. Is Hippie in here? I'm going to look over here in the thing and see. He's not coming up for me. All right. He has been so busy this week. All right. Yeah, I can't imagine what her friends and family, but I hope none of them are forgiving her because she's lived 25 good years now. Eastwood Ritchey's Facebook page indicates the couple was married in 1994. So this happened in 1993. I guess good Christian women can't have babies out of wedlock, right? But they can murder them. They're a church-going family, very respectable, said neighbor Diane Hendon. Very respectable. I'm just saying hi because someone else did. Everyone say hi to him either way. Yeah, everybody say hi to Nomadic Hippie because he does watch the replays and it'll be fun for him to get a hello from everybody when he watches it. That'd be fun. Keep going here. According to Hildenbrand, Eastwood Ritchey said she hid the pregnancy from her husband. Investigators are trying to determine if her spouse was involved. Currently, he is not facing charges. Okay, see, this is where I'm going to struggle. This is where I'm really going to struggle because they're saying they don't know if he was involved, but we've seen what she looks like when she's pregnant, right? And I find it hard to believe that he didn't know she was pregnant. It seems more likely to me that a good Christian woman shouldn't be pregnant prior to marriage, and they couldn't have that. So get rid of that problem, get married, and then have the children, right? That seems more like what happened. And it seems like the spouse probably knew. I don't think she hid that from him for 9 months while she was pregnant. You think her husband that she was dating that entire time and having intercourse with didn't notice her baby bump for those 9 months? Or that suddenly the baby that she was carrying was no longer there? It just disappeared and didn't ask questions? That's not really adding up to me. But he's not facing charges. You can see the demonic forces in her eyes. She looks like a diabolical murderer. That's what she looks like. You can see it inside her eyes. I agree. She does not have kind eyes. I do believe eyes are the secret to the soul. You can tell a lot through a person's eyeballs. The trial for Gail Ritchey, the mom accused of killing her newborn son in March of 1993, is scheduled to begin with jury selection Monday in front of Geauga County Court of Common Pleas Judge David Andre. You know, I found out an interesting fact. I don't know how many of you know this or not. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew this. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't know this. But the reason that when you go in front of the court and you plead your case and you are dressed in normal clothes, even if you are a prisoner at the time you're being held in jail, when you go and you have your trial, you are wearing normal people clothing. The reason that you wear normal people clothing is because if you were in prison garb, you would be perceived more so as guilty than if you were in regular people clothing. So legally, they have to provide you with everyday clothing for your trial so that you don't have the perceived guilty in the eyes of the jury based on clothing. So put a 1 in the chat if you knew that. Put a 2 in the chat if you did not know that. I just found that out recently. I had no idea. I thought that the attorneys kind of did that, chose whether or not they were going to put you in clothes or not. But apparently, you 100% have to be in regular clothing for your trial. I had no idea. Tommy knew that. Linda knew that. Shanna did not. Roy and Becky did not. It's kind of split on who knew it and who didn't. All right. So we will have to 100% have to follow up on this story and see what she gets. Oh, that's okay, Nettie. I totally get it. You've had a very busy day. So we're going to have to follow up on this story and figure out find out what she gets sentenced with. Because I know you all are like me, and as furious as I am hoping that justice gets served and she gets quite a bit of time for this. I wonder, since she admitted to the other child, if they'll be able to try her in any way for that other child as well. I don't know. Tommy says, sometimes I commit crimes for the new wardrobe. That's funny. Yes, thank you, Linda, for the story. I really appreciate that. Tommy, can you find oh, Rose. Rose is all I can think. Hold on. SF Rose. Can you find her link to her live stream? It is SF Rose's birthday live stream. And I thought maybe if you can't stay, I understand, but maybe we can go from this live stream over to there and just give her a raid and go in and say happy birthday. I think that would be nice to kind of surprise her and do that. If we can all do that. So Tommy, if you don't mind dropping a link to that in the chat, I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. And then there was a couple of things I was going to mention. Oh, DNA. So Tommy had said the DNA was figured out in 1998. Well, recently in the news here, they were able to solve a cold case, and they were able to solve it off of DNA, but not your typical way of like they had some DNA from the case and it popped up, the criminal showed up in the DNA system through the whatever computer. They're using, if you submit your DNA to like these gene family tree things, ancestry.com or whatever, they're able to use ancestry.com DNA now, and they're pulling the familia DNA from these ancestry.com sites, and they're able to use those DNAs and the family DNAs to track back and solve a lot of these cold cases. And I think that is incredible. I think it's sneaky, but I think it's incredible, and also a little questionable, but incredible that they're able to solve some of these long lost cases. I hate that there are people out there like her. It's awful. I agree. Again, though, I think it's important to remember that there are people like her out there. I will talk more next week about a nurse at my child's elementary school, and something that she was a nurse and she was very kind, and I liked her a lot, and my son liked her a lot, and I will talk about what she did next week. And she was arrested, and it's a bit frightening, and I had to have a conversation with my son to find out if anything had happened to him. But I'll talk about that more next week. I did not get out my video this week just because I have not been feeling good, but I'm going to be doing a couple part series on that haunted building that I went to. And the first video that's going to come out is going to be the history of that building. And I'm going to try to get that out this week. I do need to announce I'm not going to have a show next Sunday. I have Bulldog's birthday and a lot of things going on next Sunday. So I'm not going to be here, unfortunately, to do the show. But I really appreciate everybody coming in this Sunday. It's been fun. This has been a great story. A story that I think angered most of us, but one that I definitely am looking forward to following up on and seeing justice happen. Your videos have been amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, and if any of you are able to play my playlist, I know some of my playlists are really long, but my hours, because I've been on YouTube for so long, last year, my hours were where I needed them to be, but I didn't hit my 1,000 subscribers. And now this year I hit the 1,000 subscribers, but my watch hours are not where I need them to be. So if anyone's able to play the playlist, I would greatly appreciate it. It would help me a lot. Great show later, everyone. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to head on over and raid SF Rose. If you've not met her yet, I guarantee you'll absolutely love her. She's very kind. And again, thank you all so much for coming. Wishing you much kindness and much love. Bye for now, everyone.